So hi guys, good evening. Well, in the prior session we have been discussed about some basic naming conventions and a simple technical topic working with measure values. So as you know, we have Tableau Desktop, which is mainly used for modeling and reporting purpose. As a developer, our role would be more in the Tableau Desktop, and it is a window-based tool. And you know, this is what Tableau 10.3 latest version. It supports Windows and Mac operating systems, and we have Tableau server. It's a web-based application which is mainly used to share reports and manage users. So we have discussed some basic naming conventions in the Tableau, the different columns, textual, ABC dimension, geographical, date and time dimension, and measure value. Okay, so caption and working with measures, individual access, blended access, dual access, and we have discussed in the prior session. So today's session, let us start working with an important technical topic called connections. So what is basically a connection? Establishing so working with connections, establishing a connectivity between Tableau Desktop to the data source. Data source means it might be a database, it might be an Excel, it might be a notepad, anything like wherever it holds some data, that is what a data source. So establishing connectivity between Tableau Desktop to the data source. As you know, Tableau Desktop is a window-based tool, and it is just a reporting tool. It will not hold any source. We need to connect from Tableau Desktop to the source, and we need to generate the report on top of it. So let us connect to the Tableau Desktop. So as everyone knows, Tableau Desktop is a window-based, right? So you can see which is available in the window. You can see just only one session, Shweta, only one session. So it was about some basic names and a simple topic. Yeah, so now as you know, Tableau Desktop is a window based, right? You can see here it is available. So double click on the Tableau Desktop. So it will ask to select the data source. By default, we have two stuff, sample superstore and world indicators. And let's say if I want to connect, let us see here. You can directly use this sample superstore to connect to this data source as of now. So now I have connected to the sample superstore source. This is what a data set or data source. Data source is referred as data set. And you can see dimension window, measure window, sets window, and parameters window. 4 sub windows we have. Okay, dimension window, measure window, sets window, and parameters window. And this is what the work area, rows, columns, pages, filters, marks, where we generate report. Okay, so now let us connect from Tableau Desktop to the different source, and let us generate the report. Okay, so yeah, so basically we can establish connections from Tableau Desktop to the data source in 2 different ways. So one is a live connection. So one is live connection. Through live connection, I can connect to the source and I can get data into the Tableau, and I can show that in the form of visualization. So the other way where we can connect is through extract, live connection and extract connection. So we have 2 types of connections, live and extract connections. Now let us see about the live connection. Let us try to establish a connectivity from Tableau Desktop to the other source. So how to establish? Before that, to which specific source let us connect on? Let us connect to something. You can see data set 1. Here I have an Excel. Okay, so I have some data. Let's say let us enter something, employee ID and sales. Okay, so two columns I have, employee ID, let's say ER, and the sales, sorry, so employee sales done that day in a store. Something I'm trying to enter some data here. I'll also connect to database also. I'll show you in different ways. Let us assume that this is what the source I have. Okay, so let me save it rather than employee ID, something customer ID by sales or something. Customer ID by sales. Okay, so customer ID, and this is what the sales done. Let me save this. I have 4 records. So close it. So first step, if you want to connect to any of the data source, click on the new data source. You can see a data source symbol is available and with the plus symbol. So click on the new data source. So after clicking on the new data source, you can able to see a lot of different sources are available. So you can see Excel, text file, Access, JSON. So a lot of sources are available here. Same way, you can also see different databases, whatnot. In Tableau, we have direct plugins. No need to create ODBC and other stuff. If you see other reporting tools, we need to create DSN before connecting to a database. So here, these are all direct plugins we have. You can see here different databases: Microsoft SQL Server, MySQL, Oracle, Amazon Redshift, Amazon Aurora, EMR, Redshift, Naplan, Apache, as a lot of databases. You name the database that is available here: Google Analytics, BigQuery, Cloud. So a lot of data sources are available here. So we have file and servers. So now let us connect to an Excel database. So click on the Excel. So here, this is what data set 1, whatever data we have. So after double clicking on that, you can see in the data set 1, in the sheet 1, we have customer ID and sales, whatever we have entered. So after double click on it, so here basically now we have only one sheet, nothing but one table. So I can directly pull it out. But if I have multiple tables, then we do modeling here. Before reporting, always we have to do modeling. What is this modeling? Joining the tables. Modeling is nothing but joining the tables. So that is what the modeling. We'll discuss more detail in that. So after doing modeling, you need to click on the sheet 1 so that you can able to see the columns. Drag that into here and generate a report. Now you can see customer ID wise sales. You can drag customer ID into color. Each and every customer ID was colored in a different colors. If you want to see the values on top of the bars, click on the show mark labels on the T symbol. So this is what we have done. We have established a connection, live connection. So live connection, the symbol is this one, plain data source. Always in the live connection, it hits the source and gets the data. So that is what actually a live connection. It hits the data source and get the data each and every time if I open the report. So what are all the steps we did it? Click on new data source. Select data source type. Select data source type. We have selected the data source as an Excel, right? So we need to click on the new data source, then select data source type or select data source Excel. If directly I can write it as an Excel, we have connected to Excel. So if other thing is we need to connect. So then what we have to done, drag tables and modeling. So on perform modeling. So after dragging tables, drag tables and we do modeling. So perform modeling is nothing but joining the tables. We just used only one table, so we have not joined anything. We'll show you. So then select connection type. Select connection type as live By default, it would be live. Always it would be a live connection. So after selecting connection type as live, click on go to worksheet 1. So click on go to worksheet 1, go to sheet 1, go to worksheet. So then generate report. Generate report. So this is what we have done here. And if you want to go back to the same modeling place, double click on it. And you can see by default, always it would be a connection type is live. You can see it is a live connection. Live connection means always it hits the store and gets the data. So now you can directly click here. You can see the visualization. We can change it however we want. So different visualizations, we can change it. Okay, so this is what a live connection. Now I'm using this data source, sheet 1 data set 1. So that's the reason it was blue color tick mark enabled. Let us say I want to refresh the data. So how to refresh a live connection? How to refresh live connection as a developer wise. In the server, automatically, if I connect, automatically it will reflect. But here, how to refresh a live connection? Refresh in the sense, in this Excel, 2 more records has been added. Okay, 2 more records has been added. And now this latest data has to be updated into the report. I have saved it, close the Excel. Now the latest information has to be get refreshed here. The latest data has to be displayed here. So what we need to do? Select the data source, right click, and you can click on the refresh button. Okay, so click on the refresh button. So you can able to see the latest 2 records are also available. Earlier we have 4 records. Now you can also see the other 2 records. How is it possible? Select the data source, right click and click on the refresh button. So how to refresh means select data source, right click, then click on refresh button. Refresh so that it will get refreshed. So this is what a live connection. So the other connection type was extract connection. What is this extract connection? So live means always it hit the source and it will get the data. So what is this extract connection? Let me explain you detailedly about the extract connection. In a simple way, what extract connection will do is it will try to extract the entire data and it will try to capture that into Tableau own format. That is what this extract connection. So it will try to, let's say that is what Tableau Desktop. Here I have a source and installation is very simple, not it Shweta, not it discussed. Maybe tomorrow class I'll do that. This is just only the first technical topic. Yeah. So once after completion of the topic, I can help you out, Shweta, with more details as well. Yeah. So this is what actually a Tableau Desktop. Let us say from Tableau Desktop to the data source, first time it will get connected. So from Tableau Desktop to the data source, it will get connected. So once it got connected to the data source, automatically a snapshot would be created. What is this snapshot? Nothing but copy of the data. Copy of the data is the snapshot. Okay, so copy of this data source is nothing but a snapshot. And we also have TDE, Tableau Data Engine. We also have a .tde. So what happens, this Tableau data engine is, so Tableau data engine will connect to the snapshot and it will read the entire data and save in Tableau own format. So simply Tableau Desktop will connect to the data source. Automatically a snapshot would be created. Snapshot is nothing but copy of the data would be created. With the help of Tableau data engine, it will connect to the snapshot. It will read the entire data and store in the .tde. TDE is nothing but Tableau data extract. And from the second time onwards, Tableau Desktop will connect to the TDE and will get the data. Tableau Desktop will connect to the TDE and it will get the data. So whatever data I have here in the data source, completely it extracted and it is having its own Tableau copy. So the entire data was stored in Tableau format. So that is what basically called as Tableau data extract. So Tableau data extract. So that would be saved. That will be saved in the local machine. So wherever we want, it is internally created. Snapshot, we cannot see this snapshot and TDE, but this file we need to save in the local machine. Final output like TDE, after connecting to the source and getting the entire data, it will store in its own format that we have to save it in the local machine. Snapshot and TDE, this we cannot see. So whatever data we have, that was captured into its own format. Let us say if the latest data was available in the data source, means again I need to refresh it into the TDE. Then only I can get the latest data here. So this is what an extract connection. Live means it always connect to the data source and get the data. Extract connection means the data would be converted to its own format called Tableau data extract, and from there you will be getting the data. So now let us connect to the extract connection. So the same process for extract connection also. But here you need to see changes. Extract, then click on go to worksheet, means it will ask to save the .tde file. After click on go to worksheet, then it will ask to save the TD file. We need to save the .td file. Then we need to generate the report. So now this time let us connect to a notepad. I have some data here, something product ID and their sales. Okay, product ID by sales. I have data in the notepad. Earlier we have connected to a Excel. Let us connect to a notepad. So what was the first step? Click on the new data source symbol. Then select the data source type, text file. So after selecting the data source, so what is that? We are looking for data set 2. Open it. Now you can see after opening the data set 2, so that related product IDs and sales is available here. So you can see the connection type, we need to change it up here. So it is live, right? Now let me click on the extract connection. So after clicking on the extract, you can able to see two different options. Extract will include all the data by default, and you can also see an option called edit. At the TDE file level, you can also restrict the data because it is a file. So at that TDE level, you can edit it and you can restrict the data if you don't want. So by default, extract will include all data. Let us go with this now. So extract will include all data, and you can see the two columns. Click on the sheet 1. If you try to click on the sheet 1, you can see it is asking to save the TD file. You can see below save as type Tableau data extract .tde. So it is asking to save the TDU file. Let me name it as a 2.1 because already a TD file is there. Dataset 2.1.tde. So if I click on the save now, you can able to see in the desktop. I have saved that in the desktop. You can see dataset 2.1.tde. So whatever data I have in the notepad, the entire data was extracted into Tableau own format. Now the data is also available with the TDE file. So now you can generate the report. Let me click on the new sheet. Beside sheet 1, you can click on the new sheet and you can drag a product ID and you can drag the sales into columns where you can able to see product ID wise sales, product ID wise sales. You can able to see. So if you drag product ID into the color, each and every product ID was encoded with the color. So if you swap this, it would be vertical bars, and this is sorting, assigning, and this is designing. If you don't want to see the values, click it on the T symbol. Again, if you want, you can click it. So assigning, designing, swapping these rows and columns. This is a column, this is row, right? If I swap it, rows and columns will be swapped, and you can see. So this is what an extract connection, and you can see the symbol between live connection and extract connection. The extract connection, it is like two different sources. From one data source to the other data source, the data got loaded, right? So that's the reason you can see two different sources with a line. And a plain source means it is a live connection. So extract connection means you can see the two stuff. Now, this is what an extract connection. Now let us refresh the data first. So how to refresh data in the extract connection? So let us do some changes in the notepad and try to refresh it. Let's say data set 2. Let me remove one record called this something JK. Yeah, I have just removed one record called JK and save it. Okay, so now here if you see, there was a record, the first highest value 980 JK. So I have removed this record in the source, but still it is displaying here because the data was not refreshed at the TDE level. So let us right click it and click on the refresh. Still you can see the record is available. So this refresh is not working with the TDE file. Why? Because we need to refresh the TDE file. From the notepad to the TDE file has to get refreshed. Then it would be easier to display here. So select the data source, right click. Then you need to go to the extract. In the extract, we need to do refresh. Normal refresh for live connection, the top one. So if you want to refresh the extract, means go to the extract. In the extract, you need to click on the refresh button. So click on the refresh button. So it is clearly throwing a warning. Refreshing the extract will replace its content. Modified will be hidden. You may be, it will get refreshed. That is what it's. You can see JK was not available. So it got refreshed. So how to refresh means select data source, right click. Okay, just go to the extract and click on the refresh button. Okay, so this is how we can refresh it. So live connection and extract connection refreshing. And there is an option, simply select data source, right click. In the extract, you need to do refresh. So we also have an option called edit. What is that edit option? By default, it will include all the data, and you can also see an edit option. What is that edit option here? Now you can able to see all the records here. 6 records you can able to see, right? So double click on that to go back to the sheet, and you can see an option called edit here. So what is this edit? Edit is nothing but we can restrict the data. So click on the edit button and you can see an option called add, and I want to filter on the product ID. Click on the product ID. Total I have 6 IDs. Let's say I'll enable only 3 records. Okay, I'll enable only 3. So these 3 will get displayed. IO, OQW will be automatically hidden because the other 3 records got filtered at the TD level. At the extract level, I filtered 3 records and only 3 records were getting displayed. you can also filter records at the TDE level because it's a kind of separate source, right? So at this file level, I can restrict. Now I have restricted at this file. Here in the source, if you see, we have 6 records, but here at this level I restricted 3 records. So that's the reason in the output you can able to see only 3 records. So this is what edit option where you can restrict the data. Now we can restrict the data. So can we convert live connection to extract connection? Is it possible to convert a live connection to extract a connection? Same way, can we convert extract connection to live connection? Is it possible? You know the difference between live and extract, right? So live means it always hit the source and it will get the data. Extract means it will convert the entire existing data into Tableau format, and from there it will get the data. So now, can we convert the live connection to extract? Connection means yes, we can convert. But try to understand here what happens if I convert a live connection to extract a connection. Okay, so how to convert this live to extract a connection? Let us see now. Now you can see this is a live, right? And this is an extract. So in the live, always it connect directly and we can generate the report. If I try to convert this, what happens? Obviously, a TDE file has to be created, right? Yes. So select data source, right click, then you can see this use extract option was disabled as of now because there is no TDE file for the data source. So click on the select the data source, whatever I want to convert to the extract connection. So click on the extract data and again click on the extract. So it is asking to save the TDE file now. Now it is asking to save the TDE because live connection means directly hitting and getting. So no issues. But now if I try to convert that into extract means obviously a TDE file has to be created. Sheet 1, dataset 1, TDE. Like let me save that. So now after saving a TDE file, you can see after saving a TDE file, here also you can see the symbol has been changed to the extract connection. Now this is what an extract connection. You can see this is what an extract connection, converted to the extract connection. So this is how we can convert live connection to extract connection. Select data source, right click and click on extract data. Again extract and save the TDE file, the .tde file. That's it, will be converted to the extract connection for the first time. So second time onwards, let us say if I have a TDE file, then how? Simply if you again now this is what a live connection. Now let us convert extract connection to the live connection. If you see the first one, dataset 2, this is what extract connection, right? So after converting to the live connection, how many records I'll have here? Because if you remember at the notepad level we have 6 records, but why is this we are displaying only 3? We have edited it, we have filtered at the TDE level. Was that clear, guys? So this was filtered at the TDE level. So that is the reason you can see here dataset 2, it is having 6 records, but here it is displaying only 3 records. The main reason is it is pulling from the TDE file. So over there we restricted it. Now let us convert the extract connection to the live. Automatically you can see the 6 records. How to convert an extract connection to live means select the data source, right click, uncheck use extract. That's it. It is using extract. Just uncheck that use extract. Now you can able to see 6 records. Select data source, right click, uncheck use extract. Uncheck use extract. Uncheck use extract. So you can see, you can understand here. So again, if I make this as to the live, now if I want to convert this live to extract, means you can use the extract here directly because there was already existing extract. If I don't have an extract, then we need to click on extract data, extract, that will not be enabled. So it's a process. So if I already have an extract connection, uncheck it. So let me ask you another question. What happens to the TDE file if I convert an extract connection to the live connection? Now, this is actually an extract connection now. So now I'm trying to convert this to the live connection. Now this is a live. What happens to the TDE file? Will it remain same or will it be removed? It remains same. Okay, so yeah, it will be in the same location. Nothing. Wherever we placed, it would be in the same location. So it is actually a certification question. So you can just click on use extract, and even though if you convert that to the live connection, extract file would remain same in the same place. So this is something about live and extract connection. Now my question is, in the real time, so when do we go with live connection? So when we go basically with the live connection, like in organizations, when do we go with the live and when do we go with the extract connection? What situations we go with the extract connection? Madhavi, for real-time data, use live and extract for snapshot based. Not correct. So yeah. So when do we go with the live and when do we go with the extract connection? So basically, yeah. So if we have a huge amount of data, now, so simple logic. Let me ask you a question. You are saying that extract connection, right? Extract connection, it is a file. Do you think it can hold a huge amount of data? This is a file, right? In a file can hold huge amount of data. There would be a limitation, right? A file, like if you take Excel, do you think huge amount of data can be handled by that? There would be a limitation. So this is a file, it's a kind of file. So for this, there is a limitation to the TDE file. So the file should not be, size should not be more than 4 GB. What if I have huge amount of data? So always, if I have a huge amount of data, we go with live connection. Huge amount of data, high performance databases, if we have, we'll go with the live connection. Okay, and less amount of data, let's say last 1 year, last 2 years, last 3 years, because always users, most of the dashboard or analysis, they need figures, the summarized values. So in case of that kind of analysis means, okay, so we go with the less data. Even that 4 GB also, like less than 4 GB. 4 GB also will handle more than 15-20 millions of records. It uses a compression technique. It uses its own compression technique, and it can store huge amount of data in that 4 GB also. So that TDE file, it compress itself, and it will hold millions of records also, even in the that 4 GB itself. Still, if I want to go more than that also, we can partition and we can also do it. But most of the time, real-time data, most of the reporting would be on the OLAP only. Most of our reporting, OLAP means historical data, so not on the transactional data. Even we can generate report on transactional data also, that doesn't matter whether it is a transactional or historical. If the data is available in the source, it will pull and display it. But most of the analysis always would be on the OLAP data, nothing but historical data, not on the transactional. So even though if it is on the transactional data, even if it is an extract connection, still we can refresh it every minute. Also we can refresh. Once if it is done automatically, TDE file also, for every 1 minute we can refresh, automatically it will get updated. We can schedule the process so that we can achieve it. Okay, so this is what about connections. Was this clear? Any questions you have? Any questions?
Hi Raj, I have a question. So when are we going to get access to the tool? I thought you were going to send an email.
Yeah. Maybe today. I think I need other email IDs also. I need to get it from. Yeah. Once if I get it up, maybe today I'll send it.
Okay. And so would we get access to those recordings as well?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Just I'll send an email. Follow the instructions. It will not take more than 5 minutes for installation. Yeah, we can also convert live connection to extract. Yes, both ways we can convert Salim. Live to extract and extract to live connection. See, live connection and extract connection. Yeah, so live means it always hit the source and get the data. So now if you see the plain data source, it is live. So if you want to convert to the extract connection, right click and you can directly click on the use extract button. If the TDE file is not available, then you need to click on the extract data. Extract, a TDE file will be created. Now there is already a TDE file. I can just enable this use extract. So now the data is getting populated from the TDE file. So simple logic. If it is live means it is getting from this notepad. Extract means from this TDE file. That's what. In the TDE level, I restricted 3 records. So that's the reason I'm getting only 3 records. So if I convert this to the live, in the live, there is no restriction. So whatever records I have, that is getting displayed here. So that is what live and extract. So extract data and extract. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes.
In live connection, we cannot edit by using that edit option, right?
No, at the source level, we cannot edit it up. But here at this level, you can also edit even in the live connection. We'll discuss more detail on this on the filters time. At this level, we can not at the source level, because here it is a file, Tableau file. So we have a provision of filtering, but this is a source. At this level, we cannot do it up, but at the report level, we can do at the source level.
Okay, after getting data into Tableau Desktop, we can
do it.
We can edit by using filter.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll also discuss more detail on the filters because we need more than 3-4 sessions on that. So yeah. Shweta, something you are asking me. Yeah. So all these would be discussed in detail, Shweta. So by end of the sessions, I'll be covering you Tableau Desktop, Tableau Server. So with the different technical topics, each and every technical topic, the real-time examples and options. So by end of the 30 sessions, I'll be covering you everything. We'll be discussing about actions, working with maps, filters. Will be working with 3 sessions, complete all the different varieties of filters. So calculations, table calculations, so YOY, all the functions we'll discuss, date functions, group sets, bins, hierarchies. So a lot of
my question was pertaining to this session because when I joined the session, you were just going click, click, click on different options rather than explaining the options you were using. You were explaining live connection and extract connection. So my question was, when are you going to explain about, okay, this is the data thing, this is data set, this is like, the sheet option, or what does file, data, worksheet, when will you explain the menu? Something
I already done it the first session. So that's what we discussed in the first session. Yeah, this is what naming conventions. I'll ask Ashwini to share you the recording. So if you could go through this, you'll get more understanding. All I understand. So we have discussed about all the basic stuff like the naming conventions, data set, columns. So this one session we have done with that. I'll ask Ashwini to share you recording. So if you can go through that recording, you'll get more understanding, Shweta. I understand because it would be a little bit confusing without having that information.
Okay.
Yeah. So other than that, we'll be completing everything, Shweta, all the different options and everything. We'll be exploring it up. So with
in total only 1 hour session has happened apart from this session. There was no other session, right?
No other session, correct.
Okay. So I'm not behind much.
Yeah. Only 1 session you had.
Okay. Thank you. And so it will be for this month. It will be 5 or 6 weeks, 5 hours.
Correct, Shweta. So 5 weekdays, Monday to Friday, US weekdays, Monday to Friday, and weekends will not be having sessions, only weekdays.
Okay, thank you.
And you will be provided a software as well along with this, and you will also be provided a license for 1 year where you can practice every day-to-day sessions, and will be also helping you with the everyday recording sessions as well. You can practice it after the session, and you can also ask questions if you have the next session.
Okay.
So everything, like I'll be covering up Tableau Desktop Server, as well as resume preparation and project process, data warehousing concepts. So whatever is required to crack an interview, so everything would be provided. So no worries, and materials, FAQs. So we have around 100+ questions where you can go through that 100 questions max. I don't expect more than that they'll ask you technically. Apart from that, few other scenarios they might ask you. So if you spend some quality time practicing day to day, easily you can handle any interview, and you can also survive it. Any other questions you have, Shweta?
No, thank you.
Okay. So okay guys, in the next session, let us start working with actions. Okay, let us start working with actions, like communicating between 2 different sheets. Okay, so that we'll discuss it in the tomorrow session. Maybe it will be a little bit confusion for a couple of days, but maybe after 2-3 days, it will be really good. Thanks, sir.
Okay, Raj. Thank you.